Hello Wargamers, it's me Callum from Tabletop Banter, and in today's video we are going to go over what I'm painting for the 24-hour live stream in list format, and it'll give you an insight into what's going to come up hopefully the following day when we record ourselves a battle report and publish that in, I think, about a week after is the likelihood, possibly less time. It depends on editing and how we choose to do it, and if we even get the time. So fingers crossed, obviously, because it's always nice to see two armies, and they'll be very freshly painted. So what am I doing? Well, I'm doing Iron Warriors. For those of you who haven't watched any other videos already, if you go back into the list of videos I've done recently, it'll show you how I'm basically going to be painting them up. I picked Iron Warriors because I wanted something simple, but at the same time I didn't want to make it a base coat and a wash army. I kind of wanted to do something interesting. So I'm using oils, I'm using powders, I am going to be chipping, doing some weathering with some sponge. And I'm also doing some airbrush highlights on the blacks and so forth, just because I wanted it to still be a challenge and something interesting to paint, not just a, oh look, I painted 1500 points in a day, but it looks like shit. So that's my plan anyway. So in terms of my theme for the army, obviously I wanted to come up with something, a reason that they are fighting the way they are, and I kind of wanted two sides of my collection. I want a ranged or heavy section, and then sort of a more speed related stuff, and a more fleet of foot. So the idea was I would roughly split it down the middle. Now in this, with Calth, unfortunately you will have a lack of mobility, but when I push this to 2000, which is probably where I'll stop it, I will have a lot more flexibility and the capability to run that split, if you like. Now this is embodied by the two HQ choices I've picked. So firstly, a Praetor in Terminator armor. He has a chain fist and a combi bolter and digital lasers, and there's no prize for guessing where he's coming from. I'm going to be using that Calth model as a very strong starting point, and I might take the cape off, or I might do this and I might do that. I'll go from there basically. But his role is very much going to be the anti-dread or anti-tank or whatever you want to call it. You know, with 5 attacks with his chain fist, 6 on the charge. I don't know, I just thought that'd be kind of cool and kind of Iron Warriors-y. Now he's going to be accompanied by a Vigilator console, because he's going to be sort of more that fleet of foot side of things, and he'll have a unit of his own to sit with, I say sit with, to move with, and press on with, and I kind of, like I say, I wanted that obvious split. Now he's just going to be armed with a power weapon and a melter bomb, so he's just going to be stock power armor, no invuln save. I feel like Artificer armor is banded around too much, and I kind of just wanted something a bit different. So his role is very much more a leader of a unit rather than a hardcore HQ choice with loads of combat upgrades. So moving on now to troop choices, I'm going to be doing 2 10-man tactical squads. The Sergeant has Power Fist Melter Bomb, and that's the only upgrade. No additional close combat weapons, no Vexilla, no nothing. I wanted them to be bare bones. He's not taking Artificer armor because, again, it's so rife in the Heresy, and whilst I understand that it is unique, I think that seeing it everywhere is kind of tiring, and I'm starting now to recognise that. On characters, totally get it. On a Tactical Marine Sergeant, less so. So I am starting to branch out from that now, which is, I think, super cool. So there'll be 2 identical units of that. Next up are 5 Cataphractii Terminators. They are going to be sort of a cheap anti-tank. They're going to have 2 chain fists in the unit and 3 power axes, which means they can run up against combat squads, hopefully. But I didn't want to have 5 chain fists because I always find that only 2 get in, really. So why pay the points for the extra? It almost seems redundant. It cuts the cost of the squad down to 210, which is nice. It would have been 240 if I'd taken more chain fists. Next up on the list is Contemptor Dreadnought. He's just going to have multi-melter extra armor Dreadnought close combat weapon. This is because I'm kind of sick of seeing so many Carries assault cannons as well. I wanted this army to embody some different stuff. He'll very much be more on the quick side of things. I'll probably be moving and running. I want him in that multi-melter range. I want him in that close combat weapon range. He may well even sort of push a flank or something with the Terminator supporting. In my mind, that's how it would work, but you know, we'll see. Then for fast attack, 10 Seekers. So I picked up some Pop Goes the Monkey, like sniper rifles for Astartes. I kind of thought it would look really cool for like Seeker weapons. I like the idea of the Vigilator obviously being attached to the Seekers and those guys working in unison. I'll likely paint up their shoulder pads a bit differently, give them a bit more unique stuff, maybe some more bionic helmets than the rest of the squads. And we'll go from there. So they are going to have, in the squad, 4 combi melters. I think that's it, really. Just 4 combi melters, yeah. And all combi plasmas, I've not really decided. But probably melters. Then again, maybe plasmas. So I haven't decided on that. That's due course. But they are going to have combi weapons, that's for sure. They can take them for 5 points, which is a boon. And with the rounds that already come in the gun, you get a bit of tactical flexibility anyway. And I like that idea. The Iron Warriors aren't just going to sit back and shoot all the time. I'm very tired of seeing that played to death. And lastly, I wanted another heavy ranged unit. So why not take 7 Iron Havocs, all with missile launchers and the Sergeant with an Augury scanner as well. Again, the idea being I thought it would be quite cool to have some ranged firepower and some units flanking forwards. Obviously the list is going to be more shooting than combat orientated, but I don't want to just sit back and shoot. I kind of want to maneuver and shoot. I don't want to just sit in my deployment zone and wait for my opponent to come to me. I want to push into relevant areas and then strike from there. Now that's the plan as it stands. Puts me with a decent amount of paint. As far as I'm aware, I think it puts me to, well, I've got 37, 9, I've got 40 infantry models. No, that's not right, 37, 42, 44 infantry models and a dreadnought to paint, which is plenty for 24 hours. And I do think I'll get it done. I just think it's going to be a bit of a push. There's no point in not challenging yourself. If you've not seen how I'm going to paint them, go to the previous video. I literally called how I'm painting 30k Iron Warriors. I'll go over there some colour choices and some ways that I found that I think I can improve for when we actually do the stream. Airbrush has arrived, got a second one on the way that I'm going to be using for priming and varnishing. Buying corks and paper clips to basically make stands for everything, because I want it to be, I want the building and painting to take precedence. I don't want to be fannying with trying to set processes in motion. Just by literally putting paper clips in cork, I'm already then providing myself with the best opportunity of building and painting rather than preparing, building and painting. So that's on the way. I'm really excited. As of recording, it's less than 2 weeks away, so we've got a bit more to sort out yet. We are going to be giving a few things away, and a couple of those I'm waiting to confirm, but it should be next week that I get a video out, probably with 5 days to go or so, probably the Monday of that week. I'll launch the donation page, and I'll launch the giveaway information as to what we are giving away. And hopefully we'll have something for you, so that'd be super cool. Regardless, thanks ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it was a slightly more mundane one, but I've sort of figured out a setup in my room now if I put the sofa bed back down again, so who knows, might see a few more videos of me yet from here before I move to the new place in September. Regardless, thanks ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Bye for now.